In this video, I'm going to take you through the Cancellation Center. This is a powerful feature for group commissioners because undoubtedly, right before a match is played, you will have some cancellations usually. If you run a larger group, if you run a group of 8 people, that may not happen very much, but if you run a group of 40, each time you play, you will see cancellations right before you play. And TeeRival helps you manage those. So in the example I'm showing you here, the common group has a team size of 3. And so far, we have, if we go to the registrants button, we have 10 people who have registered. So if pairings happen right now, and pairings normally, if a commissioner does not want them to happen early, and I'm going to show you how to do them early if you want to, but if a commissioner doesn't want them to happen early, they happen 24 hours before the first tee time. So right now, with team size of 3 and 10 registrants, you're going to have 3 teams of 3 and 1 person go over to the bullpen if pairings happen right now. Now, a commissioner at any time can have the pairings trigger whenever they want to. They don't have to wait until 24 hours before the match is played. And in order to do that, you come over to the group screen, and the match that we're talking about is in the common group, and we go to the Setup Matches button. And here we can see that this is the match we're looking at, this Monday, March 25th match. And right now you can see that it says registrants, and I can look at the registrants if I click on that button, and I can click Make Pairings. If I click that, it is going to do the pairings early. You can see that we're 7 days away from the match starting, but if I want to do that, and I'm going to click it here in a second, I'm going to click Make Pairings. It says, are you sure you want to do the pairings? We're going to say yes. And now it's ready to start match. Now, you can start the match now if you want to, even though it's 7 days ahead of time. I would not do that. The system will automatically start the match about an hour before the first tee time. That way, if you want to continue making changes to your match, you can. The moment you click Start Match, the changes are over. You cannot edit this match anymore. So we're not going to click Start Match, but what we are going to go to is we're going to go to the Pairings button. You can see the little link there that says Pairings. And what we can see now is that the system created 3 teams. We've got Team 1, Team 2, and Team 3. And then we also have somebody in the bullpen. Paul is in the bullpen. And he will not play unless someone cancels. So in here in the pairings, I've got, in Team 1, I have Roman Acosta, who I am going to simulate canceling and show you exactly what happens when Roman cancels after the pairings have been done. So let me log into him, and whenever I come back, I will show you what his system looks like and him canceling, and then we'll come back and look at what the administrator sees when he cancels. So just a moment. Okay, so here we are on Roman's login, and so we're looking at the match as Roman sees it, and it shows that the match is 8 days away, and it won't let him start the round yet. You can see the start round button is shaded out, but what he can do is use that red button next to it to withdraw from the match, and this would be happening usually within 24 hours of the match. So I'm going to click that red button, and it says, Roman, are you sure you want to opt out of this match? He says, yes, I'm out. And now he's unregistered for the match, and it disappears. So I'm going to go back and log in as the commissioner and show you what has happened now in the Cancellation Center part. Okay, so I've logged back into my commissioner login here, and you can see now in the common group, there's a new message up in the top left of that widget that says has cancellation. That is how I know as a commissioner that we've had a cancellation, and I can go into the system and take a look at what steps TeeRival has taken about this cancellation. So to look at that, I'm going to go to the pairings link here. So I'm going to click on the pairings link, And now I can see that I have 3 teams still, but I can also see that the bullpen's empty. And I'm going to come over to this third tab called the Canceled tab, and you can see what happened. So Roman canceled, and you can see what time he opted out, and you can see that Paul was immediately put in his place from the bullpen. So Roman was in Team 1, and we can see now that Paul has been entered as the second player in Team 1, and Roman has left. So if things stayed as they are right now, we would be able to continue playing the match. We've got 3 full teams, and we're good to go. Now, let's simulate another problem, which is another one of our players from Team 2, Garrett, is going to cancel. So I'm going to go into his system and cancel him, and then I'm going to come back and show you what happens once Garrett has canceled. Okay, so I didn't show you logging into Garrett's side and canceling, but we're back now, and Garrett has canceled, and so I'm going to show you the pairings now. And we can see Team 1 is still okay, but here on Team 2, where Garrett canceled, you can see Garrett is gone. You can see it's got this add button next to it. And if you go to the Cancellation Center, you can see that it's waiting on us to make a decision, us being the commissioner, because it has no one left in the bullpen. So if I go back to Team 2 where this cancellation is, I can click this add button, and it's going to give me a couple of different options. It's going to say, do you want to add a new player, or do you want to add a shadow player? Now, a shadow player is where someone else that's playing in the group subs in for this group using their score. So they're not actually playing with Group 2, but their score is counting like they are a member of Group 2, just like they're a member of whatever group they're playing in. You can also add a new player if you want to, and I'll show you what this looks like. If you're adding a new player, it just gives you a list of everyone in the group, and in case maybe you've talked to Dan Jones on the side, and he said, hey, I can show up last minute, you can just enter Dan and click done, and it works. But most of the time when this happens, you're not going to have an opportunity to add someone new, and you're going to have to use the shadow player. Now you can manually add the shadow player if you want to, where if we click proceed, it gives you everyone else who's playing in the group, and you can add the person you want to. You can maybe look at the handicaps and see which one you want to add. However, you can also come out of this and go to the groups, go to the common group, go to setup matches, and right here you can see where we're back on our Monday group. See how it says auto adjust pairings? You can click that button if you want to, and it will just naturally find the shadow player that best levels out the handicaps. It may not be perfect, but it will find the player that best does that. So I'm going to go ahead and click that now. You sure you want to do that? Yes. And now I'm going to go back to the pairings, and I'm going to go to 2, and it is added, in this case it's added me as the shadow player because it looked at the handicaps and said Chris is the best fit for this team to be the shadow player. So I'm playing for real on Team 1, so my tee time is going to be 10:47, as you can see right up there at the top. But on Team 2, my score is also counting for Team 2's score so that we can continue playing. And in this case, Team 2 is just going to be a 2-man group. Now, as you can probably suspect, if people kept canceling, there's not enough shadow players in the world to make all of this work. And so you can use some of the other group functionalities I'm not going to get into here, but you can do a group broadcast to try and see if somebody can come play. You can also decide to completely blow up the group and redo the game, redo the team sizes, redo some of that. I'm not going to show you that in this video. It's been long enough, but I'll show you that in another video, and you have those options. But most of the time, if you don't have kind of disastrous cancellations, shadow players will work fine. Or if you find someone who wants to come play on short notice, you can add them that way too. So that is an overview of the Cancellation Center, we call it, and how to handle some of those more simple cancellations. If you have any questions, reach out to support, and I will see you in the next video.